Guys, share this around. We are starting in 2 minutes. We're talking about diving into summer. We're going to be balancing some fun with our trading lifestyle with Mint. All right, where's James? There he is. Oh, he's hidden on the bottom there. Okay, so cool glasses, James. I think this is a better way for the setup, eh? And
no,
so,
this
guys,
is perfect.
So James is in the middle. We're all looking at him. It looks like actually on that looks a pretty funny setup. So guys, we're with the whole Maven team. As usual, Emma is going to be buried away in her laptop. I happen to have John and Seb with us. So we're going to get a little bit of their reflection.
To a certain extent, I already warned them I probably would be less active today.
Less active today. Well, you're looking beautiful, lovely earrings. And you should have seen what Seb was wearing earlier today.
Oh my god.
It wasn't beautiful.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Not quite as fantastic as what you were wearing.
I was not wearing anything.
Chris tops the outfits for the day.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
Remember, it was we're going on about the clothes again. He wasn't wearing his pants last stream. Remember, John?
Yeah, exactly. This time I actually was not
James,
wearing
you
my
might have to take a peek at my profile at a video I posted today to see what he was wearing.
Maybe don't look actually.
Yeah. I might have to wear them again depending on how much money I make this week. Guys, the whole theme is work-life balance here, and that's inspired by, well, I'm here with, must be a Chelsea fan, hilarious. I'm here in Cyprus on an island. We're on island time. We're hanging out. I got the backwards ball cap on. We're all running around the pool, having some fun, and we're doing work at the same time. And it can get into a slippery area where I just want to chill all day sort of thing instead of trading. Or maybe you go trade and you're not taking it very seriously, or actually maybe that's helpful for you in your trading life is, maybe you actually want to spend some time outside and that's actually beneficial for you. So I don't know, James, is it summertime down there or is it getting colder now?
No, it's getting into a winter, but we don't really have a winter here where I live, bro. It's like warm, kind of a 24/7, which is nice.
24/7 fun. So you might actually be some inspiration here because we are used to the cold living up north.
Yeah.
We're normally able to get some solid work done come winter because nobody wants to go outside. But now it's like, okay, how do we balance our time with spending time outside? So guys, that being said, I want you to prepare your questions in the chat log there. We're going to do a lot of questions today because we do have the whole team here. There's not going to be too much discussion. But we can look at the markets. Now I'm going to be off the laptop here without a mouse, so forgive me if anything's wacky.
Super laggy for everyone.
Is it super laggy?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
We just one move.
Is it super laggy? Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Wait 1 second.
It could be our internet connection.
It's the internet connect because this cable is actually I'm specifically using the cable that doesn't cause that.
Yeah.
It's the internet here is tripping me out. Okay. Anyways, guys, hopefully you can see the charts then at least. We have a bullish move the past couple days. I'm going to jump onto something a little bit bigger here. Last week, we were talking about potentially making new highs above these monthly levels on the NASDAQ, and we failed to do so. So all of this move up could potentially be a fake out for further downside action, guys. I'm swiping around here with my fingers, so it's a little bit slow. But it did have that failure, but we do have a massive rally. So there is a little bit conflicting views here. I'm a little bit on the cautious side. We are at the previous highs. We did reject off of those highs as well. I'm looking for lower lows to re-enter in, and the same sort of thing being said for Bitcoin. That monthly candle, we are in the new month. Just a reminder now, that monthly candle failed to make new highs with clean closes. So that telling me that potentially we can be looking for lower lows once again. And I would be looking for, you can delete this, but I'd be looking for some safer buy opportunities. There's a fly landing on me right now. And other than that, I think the DAX, another option too. You guys, if you guys really want to be bullish, the DAX just does not quit.
Yeah, I was
break
actually
us
long
down.
the DAX now, Hunter.
You're on a long on the DAX right now. I was looking at
Yeah.
longs today too on the DAX. And oh wow, yeah, it did really, really well. I did take a long off that lower level. Something I noticed about the DAX, James, I don't know if you noticed this to be true as well, is like the levels do not get respected as well as the NASDAQ.
No, yeah, they can be quite, it can be like it can blow past level and then come back into it. I agree. Yeah.
I think there must be a little bit less liquidity, and people like to, get better entries. I've seemed to notice. I've only been looking at it for a few days now, but being in Europe, maybe we need to modify schedule based off of what's going on in our lives right now, right? So same sort of thing with summertime. How are we modifying our lives? Is there anything that you wanted to break down on the charts that you've seen today?
Personally, nothing too hectic. As I said, I did like the longs on the DAX. I also took a long on the S&P 500 on a U trade, the NASDAQ mainly, but looking really, really neat. So nothing really to break down too much. But I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if we do get back to all-time highs if you go to the daily time frame on ES. Does look like we want to come back up there. I mean, at the moment we are only a couple of percent, like 3% of all those all-time highs. So if we can break out that level to the left on the daily time frame, I think longs look pretty neat. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, totally. You are seeing gains on the daily. It looks like a retest of those levels and continuation to the upside. Yeah, the same sort of thing though, once again, is we did have a rejection off of monthly major resistance zones. So be cautious as we come back into those highs that it could be a move back to the downside. Guys, let's jump off of that. Anything else, James?
Nothing much. What's Bitcoin doing?
How about gold? Somebody's asking about gold too.
Yeah, gold's down today.
Hi.
Gold is down.
There are people asking about Bitcoin too.
Yeah. So my opinion on Bitcoin is it's a risk-off approach at this point. But John's opinion is, why would I sell when I'm going to be holding for the next 10 years? So same sort of thing with gold too, guys. If you are trying to day trade gold, it is a little bit of a volatile market right now. You are seeing these ranging moves up and down. It was not as momentous as before. You are seeing these giant wicks and failing to make new highs on the higher time frames. Look at that daily though. Again, everything on the intra sort of day is looking somewhat bullish, but higher time frames are showing some shakiness. We don't know which way it's going to go. We're still waiting for some news from Trump. We're still waiting for there's rumors about Jerome Powell possibly stepping down. There's a lot of things happening. There's some wars going on. It's the usual thing in the trading market where we have no clue what's going on, so we have to take our best bets, right? And maybe going into summer might be a time to just step away. That might be a good segue into our topic. Oh, James, do you ever take time off of trading?
I do. I went to Cape Town last week from Wednesday to Sunday. Sorry. Yeah, I was speaking at the Finance Magnates conference over there in Cape Town, and it was pretty neat. I don't think I took a trade. Yeah, while I was there. Yeah, I didn't take a trade while I was there, and I think it's good to take time off from time to time just to refocus, reset, And just it's quite neat. I think so.
Yeah.
When you're not looking at charts all the time,
Did you trade at all while on that quote unquote work vacation?
Yeah, work vacation. I had a look at the charts, but no trades actually. So it was quite nice just to get like a little bit of a reset.
Let me tell you a quick story that
Story
I
time.
experienced recently, because we were on a little bit of a work sort of vacation. I wasn't able to trade very effectively. We've been bouncing around. We're now situated lovely in this beautiful house in Cyprus. But we were going city to city every 3 days or so. And that's very taxing, first of all, to be trading from, right? So we were only trading maybe about 2 or 3 days per week, right? In front of the laptop. Now, it came to be, I managed to get on a new funded account somewhere, right? And, I started trading it up and I had, I think, 2-3 grand in profit, right? And, sitting well. And the reality is I'm thinking, why am I not trading enough? I'm not trading enough. This is taking forever to get my payout, right? Because I'm not trading enough days. So I'm sitting on one of the trains one day and I'm not doing my live stream. And I'm like, this looks good. This looks like an okay trade. I'm looking at my phone while on a train, exhausted, moving around after just having a little bit of vacation time, right? A little bit of fun, in different cities. And your mind is not there in place. And I ended up completely blowing the entire account completely after being funded, after locking in profit. That would have been, for sure, I could have been able to take out a couple grand. But instead, I was like, I'll just shoot for the moon. I know what I'm doing, super confident, having a time of my life, right? And ultimately, that joy and that euphoria that you're just experiencing in life makes you not be able to focus on what you need to be doing and calm and looking at the chart effectively. And you're trading in a weird environment. So naturally, you make a mistake. And I don't know if any of the viewers at home have experienced this as well, where they know they should not be trading on a train while traveling across Europe. But I think I lost like 7 grand or something in that one trade. And it's like, that's pretty bad. That was a pretty bad trade. So, lesson learned, of course. Guys, hopefully we can pass this along to you guys. I want to see if anyone else has stories of similar.
I took a really good trade actually during our little trip here. I took a stab at a meme coin, which I don't normally do, but I felt really good about this one. It's ZBNC, I think it is. That's the ticker. Anyways, I got I think it was 35% profit on that trade. It took about 12 hours for the trade to go through, and then I jumped out. Thankfully so, because I think it's down 40% today.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a good trade. That you were just having some fun though.
Yeah. I mean, I have a Crypto.com account with a couple $1,000, and it's just play money, right? It's like, I don't really care if I lose it. But if you take a look at this coin, I'm not shilling this coin. I have no idea what's going to happen. Like I said, it's lost 40% overnight. So
do you still have any?
No.
Okay, then you're not showing it.
No, well, okay, yeah. I got rid of all of it. However, I did take a look. The fundamentals of the coin did look good. It's backed by Circle, which is the creator of USDC. So that is a major crypto company. And they essentially are trying to bring payroll to the blockchain. So the fundamentals looked good. And I just felt that there was a lot of hype around that coin at that time. And I said, YOLO, I'll just do it.
Yeah. Good stuff. So there's a couple things I think we can discuss about summer fun, because we're going to make it specifically about summer. Is one of the things is, what do we do in the trading market when our weekend rolls into Monday, and you're not feeling the best, and you've just gone out, maybe gone camping and drinking some beers with your friends. I don't know who does that. But in the Canadian wilderness, we tend to go camping and having beer with the friends. Maybe we're getting home late and we're exhausted. We're a little bit hungover coming in on Monday. Do we still trade, James? What would you trade on Monday if you're coming home late, you're not sleeping well?
No, probably not. Actually, I got home from Cape Town on Sunday evening, and I didn't trade yesterday simply because I was just way too tired. I got back at like 10:30 at night, so I was like, you know what? Let me just take off Monday. And I think you definitely need to be trading in the right mindset. Personally,
there's something I often do that goes under that umbrella is I do the live streams every day, and after about an hour and a half of live stream, I'm feeling that exhaustion.
Yeah.
Probably very similar experience to how you would feel when you're coming home late. You know, you just had a big trip, and the next morning, like you feel like you need to rest. Like you can only actually trade for a certain amount of time before your brain starts giving up. And I think this is something we really experience in the summertime, is because, you know, you're probably spending a lot more energy traveling around, going to see friends, you know, going out for patio beers or whatever this is, you know, you're going to have to really recognize, when am I exhausted? When should I be trading, right? And then not forcing those trades.
Yeah, I agree. Especially as a discretional trader, right? You need to be kind of locked in. I mean, you're only trading for like the first 2 hours of the open, right? Similar to me, you know? So, yeah.
Do you think with the summer weather, it has an impact or an influence on trading decisions?
Yeah, so I'm actually thinking there's two different options here, and I want to get James's opinion on this too, and potentially your guys' opinion as well. Is I think it can either be beneficial or detrimental, because the reality is I'm not forcing, like I don't feel like I have nothing to do anymore. I'm sitting here in Cyprus, it's beautiful out, and I'm like, okay, traded an hour, I want to go outside now. You know what I mean? And the reality is, if I have other things to do in my life and I'm enjoying my life, I'll trade only if it is beneficial for me. And that's a huge thing that you should be setting up in your life is, hey, am I trading because I'm going to make money, or am I trading because I have nothing else to do? You know what I mean? And summer can be really good for that, because, hey, I have all these other things to do. Or it can be really damaging because, hey, you're getting distracted by all these fun things like going to the beach and drinking beer with your friends, or playing Frisbee, or going golfing. Or I know you like to golf, man. So what do you think?
No, I agree. You know, as I said, I think, you know, if you've got other things going on, that's why I think trading full time is kind of like an illusion, right? Sometimes you just want to, you know, you have to have other things that preoccupy you. Also, sometimes the markets aren't, like, to be honest, the market, I don't know how you found it, Anta, but the markets haven't been super like favorable or like super hot conditions the last couple of weeks. And sometimes that's where you kind of have to back off.
Yeah.
How have you found the markets the last couple of weeks yourself?
It's been all right for me. I have a little bit different strategy than you. It's been very, very volatile, and I'm able to do these volatility plays well. Today was a little odd to me because I think you probably found it better today because it just drifted in your favor, right?
Sure.
And that's not good for me. Is I need these sniper entries with massive volatility for my strategy to well.
Got
so
it.
opposite sort of things. What do you guys think? You think you know, how do you think summer energy? Do you think that'd be distracting, or do you think it would be distracting or beneficial because you wouldn't be putting all of your energy into it?
I think it only becomes, in terms of trading, if you have a set strategy and that strategy is determined by what you see on the charts, then what's happening outside with the weather shouldn't affect what's happening with the charts and yourself. Yeah. So if all your entry signals are there, then you should still enter the trade, whether it's raining, whether it's sunny. But on the other hand, if it's sunny, you're outside, you're enjoying yourself, there shouldn't be that pressure to go onto the chart.
Yeah.
I think it's super important to have that divide between, I'm going to go enjoy my time now out in the sun, or I'm going to sit down and focus on the charts for a little bit, and not try and balance too hard between the two, where you're outside, meant to be with your friends, but also keeping an eye on the charts. Yeah. You're distracted from having a good time and distracted from trading as well.
You're not going to be able to do either of them effectively. If you're doing both at the same time, that's really well said by Seb. Do you guys have anything else to add?
Hunter, I don't know. I didn't think Seb would have a comment on that because it's always cold in the UK.
He lives in Norway now.
Sorry, Norway. Well,
that's why I'm just inside the whole time.
Yeah. But no wonder the UK have a lot of good traders because they're just inside the whole time on their screens.
It's just raining the whole time. You have no pressure to have fun.
I would say if you're a full-time trader and this is what you're doing, like, you know, you're 100% focused on this, you know, coming from Canada, as you're well aware as well, in the winter, it can be, the weather can actually take a toll on you, right? There's less sunshine hours. In Vancouver, it rains constantly. You know, where I'm from, Halifax, it can be cold. You know, so I mean, on those days, especially when it's super cloudy, if it's been cloudy for a long period of time, I could find that it drains my energy a little bit, right? So like on those days where it is sunny, even though it's still not nice to go outside because it's, it's chilly, the sun gives me extra energy. So I could absolutely see that playing into, whether you're 100% on the charts or just 99% on the charts. But on the flip side, if the weather's too nice, then you might actually have the opposite effect where you're distracted and you just want to go outside.
Is it a great point, being from Vancouver, where I have to be up at 6 a.m. to trade?
Yeah.
I'm actually finding summer is way better for me if I'm trading back home, because it's pitch black till 8 a.m. in winter, right? So my whole trading day is over and it's still nighttime and I go back to bed. I wake up and I'm exhausted the whole time and I can't think, right? So guys, it's really important to, like, if you're living in, if you're living in Nigeria, Vancouver, London, doesn't matter where, you need to recognize, okay, how does the day change based off of the season and based off of what's going on in my life, and then adapt to those things. Like, I potentially might trade at slightly different hours in the winter, slightly different hours in the summer, or even shorter or longer. Or maybe I switch to a different market. Like maybe I start looking at the Nikkei because it comes in the afternoon in Vancouver, right? Because I'll actually be awake in the afternoon instead of waking up at 5 a.m. to trade, right? So this is all going to be individual to yourselves. And you're going to have to ask yourself, like, objectively, don't try to push anything. And exactly what Seb was saying is, don't try to push anything when you're going to have fun. I'm going to have fun. I don't need to look at the charts. Or, you know what? Hey, maybe I'm going to trade only 2 days a week now in summer, right? Whatever it is for you, if you have summer vacation, whatever it is, you don't need to be trading every single day. And if you do, well, we got an issue. We got to have a talk about it. We'll have to talk with you later in Discord, all right? If you got to trade it, come on, stop that, okay?
I have a random tangent.
Yeah, let's go on, Emma.
I need you two to stand up for chat. You two.
Oh, for height?
Stand up.
Oh. All right.
There you guys go. Now you know. Go back down.
John is a giant.
Yeah, couches are a little bit uncomfortable for me. You can tell I'm always uncomfortable.
No,
Everything's made for midgets.
It's always who's tallest or you? It's always between.
Oh, yeah.
you.
Oh, yeah.
And like Chris is not short or anything, but John's really tall.
Yeah. All right. James, I don't know if you got anything else to add, but we can jump into some questions right now.
No, I'm all good. We can jump into some questions for sure.
Let's do some questions.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a good one. Someone said before, what is the ice cream cone of trading? Summer ice cream cone of trading. What is short but sweet? I've got an answer for this.
I do too.
Yeah.
Short but sweet?
Yeah.
What? I don't know. Okay, you answer so I understand what the hell you're talking about.
Obviously.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, short. And what is an ice cream cone short?
It's short and sweet because you have to eat it really quickly.
Yeah, that's right. You have a time
And
on that
finish
ice
it.
cream
You
cone.
gotta-
Oh.
I mean, unless you're standing outside and it's below zero or you're in the freezer.
It's summer. It's
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
He doesn't like.
I don't like that question. I don't understand. I'm too dumb.
Do you think that taking like a summer trading break or like a reduced trading break would help recharge, or do you think it causes FOMO for people?
Yeah.
Well, if it's causing FOMO for people, then you're not really taking a recharge now, are you?
Yeah.
You're not really taking a break if you're FOMOing in. Like, that's
Totally.
the point of taking a break, is that you're getting your mind completely off of whatever it is that you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So you might want to reevaluate how you're taking your break, or find something a little bit more engaging that interests you as much as your passion for trading while you're doing that.
Yeah. Hey, James, I got a question for you regarding that. Do you think it would be beneficial over like to experiment, like for the viewers, for them to experiment with trading less? You know what I mean? For the next month, you know what I mean? Like don't be going for 2 hours. Maybe only go in and look literally for like 15 minutes instead. You know what I mean? Like whatever your thing. Would that be a good experiment to do over the summer period?
I agree. Like personally, for me, like trading less and trading like only like solid setups is it's a lot more beneficial mentally. Trading can sometimes be very draining, especially if you're not winning. So Even when you are winning, it can be draining sometimes, you know. So I think taking, trading less and maybe like being, looking at your stats. I think that's probably a good one too. Like maybe you don't trade well on a Monday because you're tired from the weekend. You've been out drinking with Hunt all weekend long, and you need a little bit of a break on a Monday. I don't know, but like, whatever it is, maybe looking at your stats and saying, listen, I'm not trading well on a Monday or Friday, whatever it is, and then taking that day off and trading less. I think it probably could do wonders for one's trading. I know it does for me,
Yeah, a lot of people like to take Fridays off early potentially, right? If you're trading all day long, because then you can go out and do things, or come into Monday late or something.
It blows my mind. People should take Hunter as an inspiration. He trades like 1 hour a day. He forces himself. Not only that, he's got the pressure of trading for a very short period of time per day. He adds the whole doing it live on live stream, making the calls publicly, and then putting a punishment if he doesn't actually win at the end of the month. I don't know if you've checked out his kick stream, but if he doesn't win this week, he's going to be walking around the beach in a women's Speedo.
Yeah, no, it's not if I don't win. If I don't make 20 grand.
Yeah.
So you know what? A lot of people might take, summer fun. Let's relax, do a little bit less trading. No. There's another way to do it too. If you guys really want to have some fun in the trading world, is put some real fucking pressure on yourself, and then the next week you might come back and be like, hey, trading is not that hard anymore. If I make 19 grand this week, I still lose.
That's true. However, I've been very impressed this entire trip you've been on. You've been doing quite well, even with all that pressure. It's amazing.
Hopefully.
Do you think it's easier to step away from the markets in the summer?
I personally think that is way easier, and that's why we're discussing it. Maybe not for some countries like Cyprus, but that's the inspiration here, because we're in Cyprus now. It's so easy to go outside and hang out, right? Have a barbecue outside, go lay by the pool. When it's winter time and you've got to put on your snowsuit to go outside in Canada, it's like, I'd rather just work, right? That's work to go outside. So I'd rather just chill here, eat chips, and look at the charts. You know what I mean? There's a lot less pressure to do things, right? And that's why we're having this discussion. I think it's an open discussion because I have no actual answers for this.
Yeah.
Well, there's also the technicalities of the summer, right? You're going to be dealing with less liquidity in some markets.
Totally.
During summer months. You have to be aware of that, right?
Totally. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Which markets?
Normally stocks.
Definitely the European markets. The whole of Europe goes on holiday during the summer.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
interesting.
European markets will be very, very
Doesn't
liquid.
everyone in France go away for August? That's the
Wow.
Yeah. All of France goes away. All of Scandinavia
That
goes
seems to
away.
be Cyprus too.
Yeah.
Seems like France goes away from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. also.
Yeah, I think that's very
Yes.
European.
And then they're back for until maybe
Yeah,
3:30.
They work 2 hours a day in the
A
morning.
few emails. Yeah.
Can someone in the chat tell us what that means for a trader? If there's less liquidity in the market, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
What effect is that going to have on you as a trader?
Yeah. You
I want to see
get
some answers.
you get some Bart looking charts.
I was about to say best
Bart
answer
Simpsons.
might get the account. So
Yeah.
maybe you should give some good answers.
Let's get some more questions going.
Yeah, sure.
See what chat's thinking.
So I got a random one. This is not really about this, but they want to know, because we're all together, who does the cooking right now? Like, who's cooking dinners?
John is the worst
Yeah.
cook, but he does it.
You haven't seen.
Hey, that's not entirely true. John's been barbecuing. I've been doing all the side dishes.
Oh yeah. The mom and dad here take care of us. Yeah, Seb and I run around wearing ridiculous clothes.
Yeah.
It's kind of true, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah, John does the barbecuing. Emma does the veggies.
Me and Chris run around like children.
Yeah, we run around like children.
Seb and
You're doing a lot
Chris eat.
I do the broth.
Yeah,
I do the broth.
man, he's the most awesome saucier.
I do broth.
Yeah.
That's it. We got to get Seb to cook the next meal then. Hey, see what you can do.
Everyone get food poisoning and maybe be out of action.
Yeah. So the answers I'm getting is less liquidity, less institution,
The question was, what happens when there's less liquidity? And somebody says there's less liquidity. Well, shit.
I have another one that says less liquidity equals less movement. There we go. That's, I mean, yeah. Let's see what else. Apparently that fits.
Yeah.
Less movement. There we go again.
Yeah. Well, that's not necessarily true. It's not less movement. It's less accurate moves.
Yes, that's right.
It is insane moves or no move at all.
Yeah.
That's what it actually is.
You're going to have, in some markets, you're going to have lighter order books.
Yeah.
Which means you might suffer more slippage.
Yeah.
That's possible. Now, it's not going to be like that.
Are you telling us to be careful about the slippage coming in the next few months?
I'm just saying in general, like, you just need to be careful of that, right?
Yeah.
Also, spreads might widen on certain markets a little bit more, especially during rollovers. You just need to be aware of the conditions of the specific market the specific pair that you're trading with.
Yeah.
So these are all things that you just got to factor in, right? And but fortunately, this only lasts for a few weeks, and then things go back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like December, but it's like December holidays, but like lesser,
Yeah.
Because everyone's still trading. The reality is when you got 2 weeks in December, it's like you really shouldn't be. Go see your family. Stop being a degenerate and throwing your money away when you can be spending time with your family, because you can't trade 2 weeks in December.
Yeah.
You can still trade in summer. You just get a little bit more cautious.
Only one person mentioned spreads in chat.
Spread. There you go.
Best answer so far.
Best answer. I like the answer that was literally the exact same thing as the question.
Yeah.
What is one? One.
Yeah, well, what? At least it's abundantly clear. Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very obvious.
That's okay. Chris says the most stupid shit all the time.
That's true. Huh?
Okay.
Don't feel bad.
So someone's asking. So what are the tips for enjoying summer without sacrificing trading progress?
Yeah. James, I want to hear you speak.
What was the end of that question? What are some tips?
What are the tips for enjoying summer whilst not destroying your account?
Okay. Well, I would just say again, have a routine. As I think, and if you are going to take time off the desk, say, listen. I think you also got to, honor your word. If you say you're going to take time off the desk, just relax and don't look at the charts, because the worst thing to do, as you're saying about trading while trying to be on going on a train through Europe, but stick to a routine. And then, say, okay, today I'm going to go to the beach. Well, then don't look at the charts while you're at the beach. So I think just honoring a word and sticking to a routine that you are going to stick to.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So the question was actually without sacrificing progress, right? So
without sacrificing progress.
You said it perfectly, because if you want to quantify progress by how able you are to control yourself, that is a great way to progress yourself. So if you say, hey, I'm going to go to the beach and I'm not going to look at the chart. Well, if you look at the chart, well, you just didn't do what you were going to say. So your goal now is to I'm not going to look at the chart. And now you're progressing in self-control rather than progressing in trading, right? So not everything needs to be like, I need the money now. It needs to be, I need to control myself and my discipline.
Yeah.
So we have another question here. How's trading this year compared to the same time last year? I think that's very interesting because the market is very different.
Hey, Sir Dennis.
Influences. Yes, Sir Dennis.
Trading this time compared to last year. Trump.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
It's changed the market a lot.
It is insanely volatile. Every week there's one of the days that just makes no sense. But the reality is, if you have a system, it doesn't matter, right? You're still going to be able to know when you should be in and know when you should not be in, and when to take risks that are in your favor. Now, mind you, the only difference is I'm going to risk a little bit less because it's a little bit more volatile. The reality is, it doesn't matter how far it moves. It matters how much you bet and then how far it moved. Right? I can't really say, because I think last summer I actually just took a break from trading. So that's, I didn't even trade last summer.
I can tell you just from trading some stocks and stuff, the volatility in the market is messing everyone up.
Yeah.
Or you can ride it and do very well.
James, what about you? How is trading this year compared to the last few years?
Yeah, well, last year I was actually trading a lot of currencies around about this time, and then last year about August, July, I moved over to trading a lot of the indexes, DAX, Nasdaq, and S&P. So for me, obviously, it's been a little bit more. It has been a little bit more volatile naturally because currencies don't move as fast as the indexes, right? So I can't say I would be able to give too much on what the indexes were doing last year compared to now. But for me personally, I've been enjoying trading indexes. I definitely think that they move a lot more cleaner. I don't know about you, Hunter. What would you say in terms of that?
I never had great success with the currencies either.
Sure.
The currencies are more, from my opinion, the currencies are very, very much long-term plays, fundamental plays, right? And with the indexes, that's where all the massive trading is. You know what I mean? That's where you can get in and get out within a minute and make shitloads of money. That just doesn't happen in the currency. Not on the same schedule, because you have that market open. You know exactly what's happening on that market open, and things just fly.
Agreed.
Seb, someone doesn't know you here. They asked who the quiet guy in the room is.
The quiet guy in the room. He's the quietest, fastest guy in the room.
Yeah, he's in charge of all the payouts. He's the one getting you guys payouts.
Yeah.
He's a very important person.
If you interact with me, you've done well at Maven.
Yeah. He did just set up a new Twitter account, so
that's probably why you haven't heard of me.
That would be great.
At Seb Maven.
Seb Maven.
Yeah.
Right. So another question to go off the dome here, and then we'll jump back into the viewers' questions here. Seb, since we're talking about Seb, how do you manage? I know you don't day trade, right? Or at least not anymore. You did a little bit back in the past. But how do you manage your workload while traveling? Because this guy travels like every week. He's on a plane somewhere. He was literally on a plane like yesterday.
We haven't been traveling as much lately, though. It's been very unusual. We're the ones traveling.
These
We're
ones.
not.
It's what mentioned before is knowing your schedule so well, understanding what your limits are, what you can and can't do, and understanding yourself. If you know that you have a set schedule in mind, making sure that you still have the ability to achieve all the tasks that you have to achieve and still enjoy your life at the same time as well, which is what we've been discussing this whole time, having that work-life balance and being able to tick all the boxes that you need to tick in your work life and in your personal life.
Yeah, Seb's really ingraining that the market hours, I'm gonna translate it to a trader. The market hours are always the same no matter where you are, no matter what the summertime or winter time. So you guys need to keep that schedule no matter how bright it is, no matter what time zone you are. So you need to memorize that and always be on that same clock, and then have the freedom on the other hours of the day. Trader translation, still English, but
someone's asking if you'd ever automate your trading strategy just so you can enjoy the summer more.
It's an interesting point. I don't believe it's possible.
Okay.
Being in the game this long, I do not believe automated trading systems work. Being that if they did work, somebody much smarter with more money and millions of people working for them would be able to do it better than us. So it would be a system that wouldn't be dynamic. The only way that I'm able to make money in the market is because every single day is different, right? And that's where strategies don't work. They seem to work at certain times, but then fail at others. Because long term, if you do the same thing over and over again, it's not going to work because it's just going to get picked up by everyone else. What do you think about that, James? Actually, like, would you be able to automate your strategy?
Probably not, dude. I'm a big advocate for discretional trading. I think that personally, I've seen a lot of guys buy bots and everything like that. I've never seen anyone consistently make money from an automated strategy. When I mean consistently, I'm talking like over like a 6-month period. So no. I in terms of like where it actually takes the trade for you and everything like that. Maybe where something you can do is you can automate like a strategy, and you can still decide, am I going to take this trade or not? Yeah. Maybe where you can still have the discretion to say, listen, like I want to take this entry, like this is an entry according to my strategy that I've kind of created, and I can still decide if I want to take it or not. I think that's kind of that I think is possible. But
you can get alert maybe.
Alert, yes, like an alert, yes.
You know who does make money consistently with bots? People selling the bots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it's funny you say that because someone popped up in chat was like, someone named John was trying to sell me.
Not me.
Through Discord. I know I was the bottom.
There's an amazing thing that like I've actually heard is people selling bots, but then they say I'm not going to sell you the bot, right? It's an amazing scam because they're like, oh, if you're not selling the bot, then how do you make money? You're like, I'm just going to take a profit split. I know it works. I just need more capital, right? Yeah. So the more capital that gets dumped in, right? And then then they're like, oh yeah, everyone just wants more capital. It makes sense, right? I'm not going to charge you anything. And then all they do is every single month they make money, you pay them, and then all of a sudden they blow all your money, right? Because it's a martingale sort of strategy that you bet everything until you blow up, right? And walk away with all the money and haha, bye-bye, right? But yeah, all bots are pretty much scams, yeah.
Fair enough. Someone is asking about risk and if you manage your risk differently in the summer when you feel like you might be away from the computer more, away from the markets. And I feel like, James, this is super relevant to you as well because you just had a kid and you must have adapted to that as well.
Yeah. That's a good point. James, talk on that.
Yeah. It definitely can be a little bit more tiring coming into the trading day. So I actually took a little bit of some knocks in the beginning once Beckham was born in February, and then I kind of just had to downsize my risk on my personal accounts just because I was a little bit more tired than usual. So I wasn't maybe in the flow state as much as possible. That's where you can automate, can have an alert go off that could help you, in terms of when to take your trades and that type of stuff. But definitely downsize my risk a little bit after that, because I think again, you're not going to be 100. I think this is kind of like an illusion as well. You're not going to be 100% all of the time. Even guys, great football players. Let me irritate Seba, but soccer players aren't going to be at their best every single game. So you can't expect to be on your A game every single day. Even the great traders like Hunt himself doesn't make 20 grand every single trading day. So you got to kind of be lenient with yourself as well and be like, listen, I'm not feeling 100%. Let me downsize my risk today, or this week I haven't been seeing it cleanly. Let me just cut back a bit, and not because I feel like sometimes when traders are trying to push and they're not feeling 100%, for example, don't purchase a bunch of challenges when you aren't in the right frame of mind. So rather do it when you're trading well and you're seeing the market well, right?
Yeah, good answer. I have one quick thing to add there that made me think of is one thing I might actually modify slightly is I would add, because I walk away from the computer more, right? Oftentimes when I'm trading in the mornings, I have nowhere to go. I don't use stop losses. I'm very open about this. I barely use stop losses, right? Because I think it's a very easy way to get wicked out of your trade, and then it goes straight to your take profit, right? But if I'm going to walk away from the trade and go outside and have some fun, I'm going to put a stop loss. All right. That's something I would personally do differently, but I'm going to have a pretty wide stop loss just in case something goes wrong and I forget about it. That happened last night. I had a trade running and I completely forgot about it. We were out for dinner and notification. Okay. I could have blown my account because I completely forgot and walked out the door.
So I keep getting this question. I feel like I'll keep getting it until I ask it. Do you think
do it.
there are any months of the year that have more trading advantage over other months?
January.
Yeah, everyone comes back after December. It's probably mid-January.
Mid-January,
right?
Yeah. The best times to trade in terms of what's going on in the market for volatility and just general kind of news and things like this, right? Is when there's high impact newses and a lot of maybe economic growth, or with a lot of traders actually sitting down on their desk, which means you want the times when nobody is on vacation and everyone's back to work. So it'd be January and September would be the best times. You could probably go from September to end of November is actually a really good block as well, because everyone's like buckled back up, and you get lots of sort of that Black Friday. Like there's a lot of sales and whatnot. So there's a lot of the economy is moving a lot in Q4 before Christmas. Cool. Emma, do we have anything else that's just eking to come out? Because I think that's our time.
So, yeah, I mean, someone asked what the biggest summer trap traders fall into is.
Summer trap.
Yeah, is there a trap? So,
It's the fact that you buy one prop from Challenge and you're going to be on a yacht with 10 girls dancing, having fun by July. No, guys, this is a 10-year journey. Okay,
yeah,
it's a 10-year journey, and I'm sure you can have fun in the summer, but just enjoy the ride. We'll leave it at that, guys. Thanks for your time. Thanks for tuning in. We do this every single week. Next week, we have Louise joining us once again. We're going to be talking a little bit more of the mind sort of stuff. I completely forgot what the topic is, but it is once again about having fun and balancing your life around summer. And we got James here. He joins us every single week as well. James, you want to plug your social media so people?
Yeah, you can follow me all online on James Bruce 131. And Hunt and I trade live together as well. So everything that you want to do, get us there, you can. My live trading room is in the link in my bio as well. But yeah, all online, James Bruce 131.
All right, and then we got Seb Maven, we got Maven CEO, we got Market Scope, and of course Dumb Money Hunter. Emma, tell them who won. Somebody win an account.
Now, so Roots and Truths, you are the winner of this one. I will pop it up on screen so that everyone can see it. Last time we cut out before, and then we were very sad.
Yeah.
And I had to.
And cue. Cut it off.
There you go. There's the proof, guys.
Good. Roots and Truths. All right. Congrats. Okay, guys. See you next week. Ciao.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yes, sir.